Yo, what is up everyone? This is OJ over here from PlayerEssence and welcome to another PE discussion video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and its effect if it doesn't make the March release, and going by the rumors, if it launches in June, how will that affect the system, sales, and all of that. So let's go ahead and get right into this. But first, I did want to say big shout out to, I think it's Eloo, E-L-O-O on Twitter. He's the one who suggested that I talk about this. So big shout out to you, dude. If you want a Nintendo 3DS code, let me know on Twitter. Just tag me and I will send one straight to your message box for giving me this awesome topic to discuss. So let's talk about this, guys. So the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, it is rumored to be launching on June 13th or mid-June, summer-ish, instead of launching with the Nintendo Switch like people expected. Now, Nintendo never gave us an official release date for the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. They had it for March, like on their official website or something like that, then changed it. So it looks like it could be a summer-ish title. And really, I've talked about this a little bit already on some of my previous videos, but I do think that it's going to impact sales somewhat because there's people that are only going to buy the Nintendo Switch when the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild comes out. I think there's actually a lot of people that are really waiting for that game before they purchase a Nintendo Switch. But the thing about it is that it doesn't matter because whenever it does come out, people will buy it, just as long as it doesn't take like with the Wii U to where the big must-have games such as like Smash Bros, Mario Kart, all of that came out a year and a half plus into the Wii U's life cycle. They just need to make sure that the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild comes out in a timely fashion after Nintendo Switch. So if it's a month or a couple months or even summer, that is completely fine. I think they'll get all of those sales then. With the launch of the Nintendo Switch, I'm pretty sure they're going to have a couple different games to choose from as far as first party goes. It looks like Mario Switch, based on the rumors, is going to be a launch title. I think a lot of people are underestimating how big that game is going to be because of the impact of Super Mario Run on iOS and iPad and all of that stuff. I think that game is really going to help boost the appeal of the Nintendo Switch and Mario Switch. If you're just basing it on some of the rumors such as Splatoon being a pack-in at launch, that's online multiplayer right out of the box right there, in addition to Mario, that Mario Cross RPG, Rabbids game, there's a lot of different stuff to choose from, and I think that the Nintendo Switch at launch is going to be a very hot commodity. People are going to snap it up. It's all about momentum, and I think that's kind of something that people lose in the allure of just trying to get all of these launch sales. They don't really think about the momentum because the Wii U actually had a pretty decent launch. It actually sold okay in every single region, but then it dropped off of a cliff right afterwards. So yes, you can have the Legend of Zelda at launch, and that's going to help sell units for any number of time, but if there's not games 3 months down the line, then it's still going to sell bad down the line, even with the Legend of Zelda and even with Mario and other games. You need a steady flow of big games throughout the year. Tatsumi Kimishima has talked about this. I've talked about this many times, and that's why I think it's very important for Nintendo not only to have a bunch of great, amazing new games, such as the Mario Switch, the Mario Cross Rabbids RPG, maybe that's good or not, who knows, Legend of Zelda maybe in summertime, but also Retro Studios, probably maybe a Metroid game, Luigi's Mansion, but also have some of those long-term games that they really invested a lot of money into, in my opinion, that should come over, that they can bring over fast to help fill the gaps between the big software releases, the online multiplayer titles that can potentially fix a lot of the issues that the Wii U had as far as online play. Guys, stuff like no game invites. Pretty much no first-party Wii U game has game invites outside of Xenoblade Chronicles X and Bayonetta 2. Those are the only games that I can think of to where you can actually invite someone to a game straight from there, and they can accept that invite, and it's an on-screen notification that actually pops up. Hopefully the Nintendo Switch will have that built in to the actual OS to where developers do not have to program that in as far as their own system to do it like they had to do with Bayonetta 2 and with Xenoblade Chronicles X. So I'm hoping that all of the ports that come over, for example, like Mario Kart Switch, Splatoon, and Smash Bros, I'm hoping all of them implement from the OS game invites, on-screen notifications for easy matches, and better functionality in order to play with your friends easier, because it is a hassle, at least for me, especially when it comes to Smash Bros, as far as adding people to play and getting people inside of a room. It's just really stressful, and you actually have to use a whole nother system to do that, as far as like your PC or your phone to message them and get into contact. So I think it'd be really cool if Nintendo fixed all of that, and those are the type of games that I think is going to help ease the blow, in my opinion, leading up to the big launches. So like the Legend of Zelda. So if Nintendo were to have Mario Switch, the Mario Cross Rabbids RPG and Splatoon right there at launch. I think that's really good. It won't sell as much if it had Zelda, but it'll still sell a very good amount. And then a month or so down the line, you have a Mario Kart or you have something else, in addition to more new games and third-party games, stuff like maybe Atlas has been working on, Silicon Studio. There's lots of different third-party developers that are also signed up to put games out on the Nintendo Switch. So I do feel that it's going to be one of those things to where, yes, it's going to have an effect on sales, but in the grand scheme of things, it actually is not that big of a deal because Nintendo's going to have a consistent stream of games, in my opinion. And when Legend of Zelda does launch in the summer, it's going to be a huge, massive hit right there, and it's going to bring a ton of console sales. So if you don't get it at the beginning, you're going to get it at the middle, and then I think in the fall, there's definitely going to be more titles. So overall, I don't really think it's a big impact as far as the Switch goes, as far as how it's going to do. I think Legend of Zelda, it's going to pull its weight when it does come out, just as long as it doesn't like get delayed all the way till like 2018 or something like that. It's going to sell when it does launch, and it's going to be consistent sales, whereas with the Wii U, it was very launch heavy as far as sales, then nothing all the way till like Super Mario 3D World came out, and then it started selling a little bit better. I think it's going to be a lot more consistent with the Nintendo Switch because of what they're doing with some of the ports and what they're doing with some of the new games. In addition to stuff like Legend of Zelda, maybe we get Retro Studios project, Next Level Games project. So I do think it's going to be more consistent and steady. So I'm not really worried about the Nintendo Switch as far as how Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild coming out in the summer instead of at March, if that does turn out to be true, how that affects it, because I think that it's going to be consistent and they're still going to be getting steady sales and good sales whenever those big games do come out. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you did like it. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future, and subscribe to PlayerEssence for more news, reviews, trailers, tips and tricks, and everything in gaming. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you for the next video. Peace.